Before proceeding to the next part, I want to save to a new file name. So let's save as Honda PCX2. And now let's see our layers. Let's rename this to top fender. Let's create a new layer. I prefer red color. Let's change our working layer and let's go on. Now before proceeding, I'm going to do the rear part of the scooter, this plastic over here. So I'm going to switch to the rear blueprint here. So file back on bitmap place. Yes, let's go to the folder. Rear view. Turn grid snap off. And let's go on. So before proceeding, I need this curve over here, so let me grab it. Let's see. Now let's extract the new curve here. We extract it, join it. Let's see, it must be in the new layer. So we're going to start with this curve over here. Where is it? Somewhere over here. So now, before proceeding, I also need this curve over here, which I studied carefully the scooter, and it seems like it has the same curvature as this one. So I'm going to turn ortho snap off. Let's place it over here. Let's take it and move it using the endo snap from here to there. It has some slight curvature, so using the points, I'll move it. And we're ready to go. So let's create the curves that are easy to follow using the front view. Let's start by making this one. Try to remember to use as less points as possible. Let's start by using these and we'll change them later. Using the Nero snap, let's create this one. Actually, this one is going to be trimmed later to create the curve we want, but let's create it anyway. It has some slight curvature, it seems. I guess we're good to go with this one as well. Now this one, I carefully studied the bike and it seems like from this point on it bends inwards inside of this outline over here. So let's make it temporarily like this. And now let's create this one as well. These are just for reference for now. We'll be more precise as we go on. I guess I can fix this by adjusting this point over here. So let's try making these curves first. Let's align them using another view. So this outline over here is this curve. So let's try to adjust it. I'll take all these points. Using ortho snap, I'll move them right over here. And again, using ortho snap, let's try to adjust them as close as possible. Maybe I'll need to add a few points. as you can see from the top view, you can see that it's this line that you see is from this part and not this curve. So I'm going to fix that a little later. Looks like I need one more point here, so I'll add it. Let's move it around just a bit. Let's move this point also. Now, looks like we need to adjust it. Remember that if we move these points to the y-axis, then it doesn't change the curvature from the front view. Let's try to put this point using set PT at the y-axis using this point. Guess I can remove a point here. Let's try to see if I can make it. I guess I'm great there. Using the rotate tool and the pointer snap, let me align this properly. I guess we're okay. Now this is supposed to connect to the other curve, but that we will create in a little bit. Now let's adjust this curve. I leave this point here so that I keep nice tangency with the plastic next to it. Now let's pull this using the snap. Now, just because I carefully studied the actual scooter, this curve seems to be going a bit outwards. We'll also have to consult this view over here. So, looks like a few things are wrong. Let's adjust them. Now, let's see this point. Let me add one more point over here. Using the nearer snap, let me move it. And let's try to adjust it using this view over here. Now it seems like it's going somewhere like that. We can't say for sure, but let me turn off the points of the other curve. Let's see. I should pull this a bit outwards. Now it goes inwards again. Whoops, looks like I'm messing with the wrong curve. My mistake. So again, let's turn the points for this one. This goes outwards. I guess we're good. Now let me add one more point somewhere over here. Now let's see. Try to remember that I want the less points possible here. So let me adjust this slightly. Maybe this point isn't needed as well. No, let me keep that. Let me adjust it properly. I guess we're good as well. Now this one, these two curves, I won't mess with them. I'll join them and we'll use them a bit later to trim the curve, to trim the bottom part. You'll see how I'll make it. So let's go with this one. If the seat is opened, let's see the reference. As you can see, this plastic stops somewhere here, and while it comes, this surface comes from the top, then it slightly bends, and it goes inwards. If you can see this thin surface over here, and then here it's a little bit fatter. Here it goes inwards into the seat, while from this point it goes outwards, out of the seat. So we'll try to make this as well. Let me hide this curve, as we don't need it for the time. Now let's see. This will have to follow this curve that we haven't created yet. Let's see. I guess I'm good here. I won't change it from the top view because it will be trimmed later on. And let me create this final curve over here. Actually, let's duplicate this one, copy paste, move it, edit control points. Let's move this. Let's move the whole line a bit. No, wrong view. Remember to change view, put it downwards using this. I'll put it somewhere at this point. I guess we're good. Let's adjust the curves from this view first, and we'll see what happens next. This is coming out nicely, so let's adjust it slightly a bit. Now let's adjust these points from the top view. Let's take all of them actually, move them somewhere here. Now using individual points, actually this one has to be just a teeny bit lower. If you see the blueprints, here you can see that this is a small surface. It can be seen if you try to imagine this curve going over here, and then this is a small surface that we actually needed. So if you see here in the blueprint, there's a slight shadowing, so that's where we need to follow. Now let's see. Looks like I'm going to need more points here. Using the set PT again in the command line, let's adjust this here. Maybe move this. Whoops. Select this point only. Let me add a new point. Let's see. I guess we're good. Let's see the other view. Now a lot of things seems to have changed, so let's adjust them. Let's adjust this one as well. Now things seem to be fine. Just these points. Slight changes are there. This has to be changed also. Now let's see using this view. Seems that we're a bit wrong, but always keep in mind that the blueprints won't match all the time. I guess I'm happy with this. Just a few adjustments. Let's see where we are so far. Maybe this will have to be adjusted just a bit after all. Let's take these, have ortho snap on. Let's leave it like this for now. Save the file. Now let's take these curves and mirror them using ortho and grid snap on. They don't align properly to the blueprint, but that's expected. So we have this result. Great. Now let's try to merge these two curves. We'll use the blend tool, which is over here. Let's blend. Whoops, wrong tool. Blend curves. So we'll use curvature here. We'll hit OK. If you notice the actual scooter, it's not that round. So I'll take these points and adjust them. Maybe even let's put them all at the same level, set PT using the x-axis now. Let's try using the ortho snap. Let's make it less round. I guess I'm happy with that. Let's try to see if I have any better reference of this part of the scooter. Let's see here. This is from mine. Doesn't help. Nice. Let's go on and blend the other curves. I'll use the same technique here. I'll take this, set PT, using the x-axis, and now again using the scale 1D tool, turn grid snap on just to align to the axis. This is coming out nicely. Just remember, because I changed them, I need to have them adjust to the z-axis as well. And let's do the same for these points here, just to be as accurate as possible. Same thing goes for these two. Very good. Once more, take them again. That's using the one scale tool. I guess we're good over there. Using the set PT, both axes. Whoops, something went wrong. Please do adjust into those. If you see, this goes a bit on the inside compared to the out curve. Now, this one, later on, we'll keep for the headlight. Looks like I need to adjust this a bit. Oh, I think I'll keep I prefer this aligned, this view rather than this one. Seems like very strange here. Maybe I should move the blueprint. Go back on bitmap, using move, and using ortho. Let's see where that is. Actually, this view is a bit better than the rear, so I'll only use the rear for reference. Seems strange, this curve, the way it moves downwards. Maybe it's because I need one more point. Let's try this here. Let's try, whoops, let's try moving the blueprint again. It messes the top here. Well, I guess I'll stick with this. Let me add one more point and see what happens. I think it's very crowded point-wise here. But it seems that it's more accurate, so I guess I'll keep it here. Now let's mirror this again using grid snap on and using the blend curves as before. Now I guess I need tangency here. Let's see. Looks like the curvature seems fine from that view, but here it's supposed to be more on the inside, so I guess we're wrong at this point. This is looking a bit more inwards. Let me try to adjust this. So let me delete one curve here. I guess I'll have to fix this one later. Let's see. Let's assume that this goes slightly inwards. It's tough to work with blueprints that are not that accurate. Let's make absolutely sure that this aligns this part from here. We'll just have to see how it goes. This part, I don't think I have any reference that will help us. If you see here, you see that this curve is going inwards, so I guess I'm wrong. I was wrong all along, so let's see what kind of adjustments we have to do to this one. Now I will have to redo this curve again, I guess. Let me delete it. this one, goes out here. Now I guess it's better. Let's pull this slightly inwards. Yes, it seems to be aligning better than before. What if we move this? I guess I'll stick with something like this. It's essential to keep things as accurate as possible in order to achieve good modeling, which means repetition. You will have to do some things many times. Let's save at this point. A few final adjustments here, and we'll go on. Looks like I need one more point here, so let's add it. It seems that the surface is going inwards. Let's see the reference, the side reference. It goes under the logo, so it has to be like this. Maybe the reflection here tricks our eyes. No, 5 degrees is a lot. Let's try 2 degrees. Let's adjust this one here. Maybe take both points, just a teeny bit. Now if we align this like this. Looks like things are a bit better now. I think we're good to go. Right. Let's save. Transform mirror this once more using the grid snap. Let's try to adjust it now. Let's use blend curves and see what happens. Let's use tangency. Let me push it a bit inwards. No. As you can see, the curvature here is wrong. Forgot to check the top view. So needs to be a bit outwards. Remember that every time you adjust a point to one view, you need to have it adjusted to the other as well. I guess I'll have to put this a bit inwards. Let's mirror this again and blend curve to see what's going on now. This is better. Let's click this to move them symmetrically. Turn the grid snap. I guess I couldn't be happier. save this. Let's create a few more curves that we need. And let's start creating our surfaces. Now, here you can see that we have, let me select all and hide them temporarily just to show you. Let's see the reference as well. Let's try to see this one. If you can see, the plastic here splits in two parts. This one that goes upwards and this one that goes downwards. Then it splits a second time over here to this part and this one. So I'm going to create vertical curves here in order to create the edges of these surfaces. Let's unhide these. Let's make slight. No, I won't make any adjustments. I think we're okay. Just these ones. Just a teeny bit. Great. Now, let's create a curve. Somewhere about here. Whoops. I guess I have to turn this off. Turn ortho snap off as well. Now let's see. Maybe I'll have to adjust a few points as well from the other curves. This has some slight curvature here. Let me adjust this. Whoops. Using this point there. Just some slight movement. Okay. So let me create another one over here. Let's consult the blueprint. Let's see what's going on here. Whoops, wrong curve. As you can see, I need this curve. Let's see what's going on over here. I guess this has to be. We try to put this curve as close as possible to this one. As you can see, it's a bit off. Just a teeny bit. I guess we're close enough, so I let it be. Let me put it in the same line. That's great so far. As you can see, these things actually need some adjusting, like that. So now these points also need adjusting. Also these two need slight adjusting as well. Let's adjust this one also. Take all of these, their points, and then adjust them one final time. This is good. This is also good. Let's align this in this case like that. It's So let's take these ones, put them slightly over the top. I guess these ones need some 2D adjustment, like that. Let's see. And this one should be on the inside, so this needs some adjustment as well. Let's take all of these. Whoops. These ones. Because they need to be on the inside, but only a teeny bit. Let's see. These points also need just a tiny bit of adjustment as well. Right. As you can see, I say very often, as soon as I'm happy with the result, I save it. So it might seem like I forgot this curve here, but we will create it just in a teeny bit. So at this point, am I happy with this? I guess I am, only when take this point here and move it just a bit outwards, because it has some slight curvature here. Maybe it doesn't seem like it. But it actually does. So, at this point, I will delete the mirrors. I only needed the mirrors to create these curves here, these last parts, but for now, I want to take this curve and actually, using this one, I'll teach you a new technique now. My cursor seems to have some trouble. It's okay. So using this view, I'm going to extrude this curve using this direction. Only because I want to trim this line into two pieces, as close as possible to my curve, my vertical curve, and I'll put this perpendicularly there. Looks like I need to take this one, place it using the nearest knob just a bit lower. Take this one and adjust it accordingly. Maybe a bit downwards and a bit outwards. So I'll do the same thing using this curve here. I'll extrude this using this direction. I'll take this curve and split it using this. Split into pieces. What did I delete? Let's do it again. I press D, use this direction. I take this curve using split. I delete this one. Looks like I'm losing my curve. Looks like a bug. I'll copy it, proceed and paste it again. So I won't be needing this. I'll lock it. Now I'll take this curve here and using the nearest knob, I'll move it to this curve. Great. Now we're ready to create our surfaces after I mirror these curves here once more. Using the grid snap, I select this axis, save, and we're ready to go. Now, using a network curve, I'll create this surface first. Continuing, using the network surface again, I will create this surface. Let's see. Seems to be going well so far. Now, let's mirror these. Looks like I selected the wrong tool. To transform mirror. Great. Let me join these curves now. You can see there's some distance here, so let's try to make up for it. Now, using the midpoint, I'm going to create this curve, and now create a new network surface. Now, using these surface edges here and this newly created curve, let's see a preview. Remember to keep tangency on for these surfaces here. It's coming out nicely. Now, as you remember, I didn't create this curve here on purpose, but I'm going to create it right now after I create this one here. So, for now, I will be using these two curves. Let me join these. Actually, I don't know if this turns out as expected, but let's see what happens. Let's split these curves in two. So I have 1, 2, and this one. Let's create using sweep two rails, using 1 and 2 as rails. My mistake. So let's create a network surface again, using curve, this one, and these two. Let's see how the surface is created. As I said before, this comes from this point, it goes upwards and then it goes inwards, like so. Okay, so I'm very happy with this. Maybe let's double check with the blueprints. This surface here is actually this one. Then I will have to delete it again to create the inner part, but for now I only need this one, which I guess is okay. Maybe I'll need some extra space here, or maybe not. I'll leave it as this for now. I guess we're good. We'll create any adjustments. Now let's see, is this as it's supposed to? They can be joined. Let's see our display options. Let's adjust the mesh to have more accurate representations of the surfaces. As you can see, it's jagged and faster. Let's change it to smooth and slower. The surfaces will be created again, but I guess this is the result we wanted. So, I'm saving once more. Let's go on with this curve here. I'll start using this endpoint. I'll turn also off. 1, 2, 3. Looks like it ends somewhere here, but I'm going to extend it just a bit more. At this point I only need these curves, so I'll invert and hide everything else. Let's adjust these curves to the other view. Let's see the reference first and see what's going on over there. If you notice carefully, let's see if I have. It goes inwards and then outwards again where it meets this point here. So let's try to see this, how this is going to happen. Let's take the furthest point and let's take both of these using the ortho snap. Let's move them somewhere here. Actually it ends somewhere like here. So it finishes exactly where I wanted. I guess this point is where it should be. Now let's try adjusting the rest of them. You can't make out a lot of things from there, but let's view the actual blueprint. As you can see, this curve is right here and it ends somewhere here. So it goes like this. Where's the starting point? It's this one there. So yes, I'm going to move this. I'm going to delete this point. It seems useless. This should be more on the inside. Let's see. Let's move the blueprint just a bit at the top. Let's see. This point is somewhere over here. Oh no, my bad. This is completely wrong. And you can't undo the movements. So this one was somewhere about here. Looks like the camera angle here, from the camera angle, it seems like it has a big distortion here, so I'm positive though that this curve straightens as it goes to the back, so let me add one more point. I deleted it before, but I guess I need it after all. So I'm going to adjust this on a straight line. And then this one should meet somewhere about here. Let me take all of these three. It's tough when you can't see what's going on from this view here, but I guess we're happy with this. Now let's see. What if I create sweep to curve using these two? Actually, let's split this curve here. Where is this? Oh, I have it locked. So let's unlock this object and let's try to create tangency between these two curves. Let's temporarily hide this. Now let's see. Let's see what happens to the top curves. Hide it again. So this one goes inwards as expected, and then it goes slightly outwards where it's supposed to meet this one here. I guess we're fairly close. Let's try to make this one here. Actually, let's take these two. And now let me adjust this one. There. Let's make a sweep to rail between this one and this one. I forgot to split this curve using this one. Split failed. Why? It shouldn't. Because you have to be extra careful. Let's take both of these curves here so that they're tangent with this surface there. Let's try this again. Sweep to rail using this one. I forgot to split this again. Split into pieces. Sweep to rail using 1, 2, and this one. Looks like it needs some adjustments. Let's try this again. Let's split this somewhere over here. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. This looks nice. Now that I double checked, I want to create a network surface using the surface edge instead of the curve so that I keep the tangency. And it looks like I'm going to have to create that one over there. This is great. This is great. Let's see if I delete this. If I make a slight test to see what's going on with the surface, what happens if I delete this? It comes fairly close. That's what I needed. Fairly close, but not quite. So I'm going to make a few adjustments here. Let's try this again. Same procedure, network surface using 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like no. It's very wrong. Very wrong. It has to be somewhere there. Let's see. Those are the original points. Let's take both of these. I'm not sure if I can use two sweep rail and use surface edge. No, that's not what I wanted. So back to network surfaces. There's this slight bend here that I hate. I don't want it to happen. Oh no, that's the shadow. Let's see. What if I temporarily delete this? I'm trying to see how close it comes to this view here. It comes fairly close. Fairly close. Which means that this would have to be somewhere else, but let's adjust this one here. They can't always align, so let's take this one, put them right over there. Then this blueprint doesn't match. Anyway, maybe I will change this one just slightly, and the outward, this one as well, and I guess this point will have to be adjusted again. Again, let me create a mirror of this using grid snap and ortho. And we're good to go. One final test. Let's see after the trim. I don't think we'll be able to match it better, so I leave this as it is, duplicate it, very nice. Save it once more, and now let's create the final surface. If you notice carefully the scooter, let's find a view that helps. It goes slightly outwards down here. As you can see, let's view. I have this excellent blueprint here. Reference photo, sorry. It goes inwards from here, inwards again, and then slightly outwards down here. So it's better to take this. Let's have this. This curve goes inwards. I'll trim it later on, so let me make it twice as big. Let's try sweep one rail. Almost what we want. Almost. Now I could trim this, but I need to be more precise at this point, so I will extract a few curves. Direction V, one here, I guess one at the end. Let's try one more, somewhere here. So I need to adjust this just a teeny bit so that it goes outwards and then it goes inwards again. Now let's try sweep one rail once more using this curve here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's what we want. And now using the curve that we drew before, let's trim this somewhere here actually. So this is great. Look how close it comes. I guess this final curve had to be just slightly outwards so that it trims better. Let's create using the side view. Let's split this using this. Whoops. Using this and this curve. This is great. This is exactly what I wanted. Let's mirror this again. For now I won't worry about the inner surface here or the filleting, but at this point we're happy with the surface. I'm saving it. Let's go on to the next part.